spawning in the top right of... Oh my god! Every time on this map! This goddamn map, and its spawn locations. No! I've been foiled once again. In the top of Purity and Industry. As the Green Zerg, first up for the Blades of Ren in their first match in the Centauri Starleague. It's the Green Zerg, Furious Styles. And on the right side, as the Yellow Terran, playing for the Alpha Ducklings, it's Masitic. So, we finally have the format of this league sussed out. So there's a couple disclaimers here at the start. We have a pool first, so I got to do this quickly. Bear with me. Rewind the video and play it at half speed. I'm gonna talk really fast. So, basically, the format of this tournament is going to be a 3 versus 3 Pro League format match, going into an all-kill. However, if at any point one team hits or wins, they take the whole thing. They take the whole shebang, and their team gets a match win. There's multiple group stages, so this is the first group stage. Then the remaining teams are seeded into a massive, homogenized group stage for round 2. And then a third stage will take place after that for the remaining teams. Furious Styles is the first player ever for the Blades of Ren competing in this league. Now you might ask, why is the stream titled Week 2? Well, the Blades of Ren had a bye in the first week. So the Alpha Ducklings already have a little bit of experience on the Blades. The Reaper does intercept the Lings, but the Lings would close in time with the SCV if the Marine hadn't come out. There's too much firepower here. They can't engage both a Reaper and a Marine. They just lose that fight in a straight-up battle. They do get a kill on the scouting SCV, but Furious Styles is going to be making a Roach play follow-up to this build. Masitic is going to have a factory, but okay, he's building a tech lab on the barracks. He's going to be able to have a tank out. He's figured out what Furious Styles is up to. He saw the Roach Warren and the timing on the Roach Warren with his scouting. So he's going to be totally prepared for this. And Furious Styles is going to have a rough time breaking through. The Reaper is trying to collect more information. Now, we might have, the advantage of dramatic irony, knowing that Furious Styles is committing to the Ravager play with a Ling Flood behind it. However, Masitic does not, right? He doesn't want to be caught going this defensive route when his opponent decided to cancel the Roach Warren and macro, right? He only saw the Roach Warren building. But on the other hand, he doesn't want to be hit with aggression and then not be able to hold it. And Furious Styles' 3 Ravager attack is going to work. He's in the main. Masitic couldn't raise the supply depot because the Cyclone was on top of it. Biles take out a large amount of workers. GG is called. Furious Styles takes game number 1. Okay, so we have a bit of a reversal of positions on the left side of the Golden Wall. Second up for the Alpha Ducklings. This time from Clan Cranky, it's Claire. And on the right side, as the Purple Protoss, second up for the Blades of Ren. He's mean, he's edgy. But most of all, he's a tremendously good player. It's the Purple Protoss, Kira. Don't call him soft. He's got some hard edges. Sam isn't mean. Sam just needs to understand the power of friendship. Troll Mudkips asks, why are you sitting in the dark? Because my light fixture, the one light fixture in my apartment, broke. My landlord has not replaced it. Kira decides to cannon rush a Terran. There's some maxim that says never cannon rush a Terran. Here we go, though. I mean, so the Alpha Ducklings are primarily from Clan Alpha X and the Cranky Ducklings. The Knights of Ren are exclusively pulled from players who competed in Season 1 and Season 2 of the Diamond League. Claire is being forced slowly farther and farther back, but it's always risky to cannon rush a Terran because they can do this. They can just keep flying their buildings back, produce a unit, hop back, produce a unit, hop back, until they have critical mass. They also have tools like siege tanks and cyclones and marauders, but Claire is just kind of panicking, making marines, and she's been supply blocked for a little while there. A little bit of a late start on that second supply depot. The bunker is being repaired as best as Claire can repair it, but the firepower is just too much. Down goes the bunker. The command center is finally under fire. There's no way... Unfortunately, Widow Mines don't hit buildings. I don't know why the Widow Mine was produced of all units. Oh no, not like this. I think it might just be stress. And Kira has the CC down to half health. Claire is forced to use precious resources to repair that command center. This looks like it's going to be the end for the Terran. Cannon goes down in the mineral line. The worst Claire can do is, or the best Claire can do is stop the probe from going anywhere in this area. Because again, Widow Mines don't hit buildings. I guess the Widow Mine shot's gonna go off on the Zealot, but it's gonna splash damage on the SCVs! Oh no! GG is called in Kira. In the bottom right corner of Simulacrum, as the Green Zerg, up third in this last Pro League game for the Alpha Ducklings. From the Duckling half of that team is Light VIP, and in the top left, as the Orange Zerg, is my friend, fellow Arisen competitive member, longtime practice partner, GT Kong. Kong, trying to take the Blades of Ren to a 3-0 lead. Light VIP, attempting to get the first point on the board for the Alpha Ducklings. No matter what happens in this game, we still go to the all-kill. Kira, we are winning 2-0. Light VIP, a very awesome community organizer and caster. He runs the Master Swan Open and the Sea Duckling Open series of tournaments for Diamonds and, well, everyone below Masters and everyone up to Masters 3, respectively. both players open pool first here. Both players are getting their Ling speed at the same time. Both players are getting their Baneling nest at the same time. They opened up totally mirror. The difference being that GT Kung chose to be an aggressor. Light VIP just opened this way defensively. One thing I will say, Light VIP's Overlord is in a little bit of a compromising position right now. He will be okay because Kung obviously hasn't started a queen up yet. He's continuing to commit to more and more Lings. Okay, there we go. Gonna see queen now. Light VIP is going for spines, so... both players... Nubius, this is not a new mic. I just adjusted my settings. Kung's first attack wasn't too successful. Light VIP is really smart, splitting off these two Lings. He wants to trade these out for a Baneling. You need to trade a Baneling out for, like, 4 Zerglings to be efficient. And now, Light VIP is going to be our aggressor, but 2 great snipes from GT Kung. Although I'm not clear on if that was on accident. It looks like it was purposeful. It looks like he had hold position, and then he box-clicked 2 and sent them into the Banelings. Kung has pulled ahead 3 workers. He's dropping his own spine here in the natural. Both players are trading off Banelings. It's like Light has hold positioned his Lings. It's just sending in 2 at a time to try and snipe the Banelings of GT Kung. And GT Kung defends another wave, but is totally out of Banes. No, he's not. He has 2 more. Okay. Light used the Banelings to finish off the Queen. The Lings weren't going to be enough to do it there. Kung is going into a Roach Warren. So, Light VIP has gained the advantage of... No, he didn't make a second Queen, so he doesn't actually have a Larva production advantage. Both players are going to be on even footing for a little while. Kung is still ahead 3 workers. Looks like we had some dropped frames. I'm not sure what happened there. Sorry if the stream quality dipped a little bit. I will check that in between games for sure. Those weren't the best trades for GT Kung. Like, VIP is sending out isolated Banelings. He needs to be careful these don't get run down. The Overlord is seeing these guys as they try to evacuate their way home. I like what Light VIP is doing. He's running out just a couple Lings to shield for the Banelings. Neither player has gone for a third 7 minutes into this game. Both are trusting in 2 base plays. Kung has had his Roach Warren out for a while. He has yet to enter Roach production, though, really. But yeah, Light VIP I think is doing wonderful work over at the Cranky Ducklings. I believe he's, like, the owner. I'm pretty sure. If not, he's a very high-up administrator. And, I've been watching some of their casts recently. They cover the ESL Pro Tour. As well as run... I think it's safe to call it, like, the biggest, pro-level tournament in Oceania, which is the Grand Platypus Open. So, they really do a lot for the community. Kung is going to have the earlier third base. We finally have it at 8 minutes. These two are just kind of like taking quick jabs at each other. No one's really going in for the kill just yet. Light VIP is going to lose quite a few lings. He is supply blocked. And he's not making overlords. So that could be a little bit bad. You're going to start to see the larva, the minerals, and the gas stack up. 1,000 in the bank for Light VIP. And Kung is going to move out for the killing blow. 4 roaches are not going to be enough to defend this. Oh man, Kung's bringing in the Ravagers. Light finally gets out some overlords. He's going to make 8 roaches, but this is not enough to hold. He needs to make Ravagers. He needs to utilize his gas bank. Light VIP is supply blocked once again. Those 8 roaches will hit the field, but there's not going to be reinforcements for some time. No! Okay. GT Kung whiffed the biles. They were timed well, but unfortunately not aimed in the correct locations. Couple banelings derp into the eggs. And Kung actually decides not to move in. I feel like this is a mistake. They're even on upgrades, and Kung has the better army. Light VIP is about to have roach speed. Kung can hold this ramp forever with Corrosive Bile. It's a lot harder to attack with Corrosive Bile up a ramp than it is to defend from the top of the ramp with Corrosive Bile. If Light wants to really assault from this angle, I would bring an Overlord forward so that you have vision at the top of the ramp and you can move Kung out of position. A massive concave is set up, waiting for the green Zerg. Light VIP clears the choke as much as he can, but moves into the trap. It's going to be much easier for Kung to pull out small groups of units as he fights the Bile. Ooh, he threads the needle. Biles connect with one of the Ravagers, but he walks into a lot more. He doesn't care. He's just eating the Bile and giving chase. Oh my god, so much damage has gone down on GT Kung's army, but very few kills. These guys are heavily softened up, but they're not dead. Kung's going to morph in more Ravagers with the injured roaches at the front. Light VIP is our player, slightly ahead in economy now, but he's still heavily down in army supply and down in attack upgrade. Carapace is on the way for GT Kung. Light VIP is trying to even things up with +2 attack. Now it's GT Kung's turn to attack up a ramp. He does not have high ground vision. He's trying to knock down the rocks and attempt the same maneuver Light VIP tried to pull on the orange side. He's going to bile down the rocks. Looks like clear up the rocks on this side. Light VIP kind of has to allow this. And GT Kung is just forcing Light VIP to make more units instead of drones. Continue harassing. Okay, nope, it looks like he wants to move in for the kill. Kung just eating all these biles. Light VIP has connected so many biles, just dozens and dozens of them. But it looks like Kung's forces are too much. He's going to stutter step in, get the kills on everything. GG is called. GT Kung takes the Pro League portion 3-0 for the in the bottom right corner of Nightshade as the Green Terran. Up once again for the Cranky Ducklings here in the all-kill segment, it's Claire. And in the top left as the Purple Protoss. Up a second time for the Blades of Ren, it's Kira. So it's a matchup. It's a total rematch. This time, Kira is opening gate first. He's not going to cannon rush again. So apparently he's confident he can take Claire in a macro game. Kira is a former Masters player, but like it was a long time ago. He is currently sitting at the top of Diamond 1. Claire is at M3. So Kira does have an uphill MMR battle on paper, but Kira also does pretty well versus Terrans, generally speaking. I have a feeling he's going to get real cheeky with his probe. I wouldn't be surprised if he dropped a pylon. And, you know, this is a rematch. Kira has a psychological advantage for multiple reasons. So, the Blades of Ren are up 3-0. This is going to affect the all-kill portion in a unique way. This is such a unique format for this league. Basically, all-kill is going to live up to its name. Claire cannot drop a map. Like VIP and, oh no. Who else was up? Missidic, I'm sorry. I almost forgot your name. I was gonna say character, but I'm like, wait a second. So, they are effectively out of the running. They can't go up again for the Alpha Ducklings, even though they technically still exist, because if the Knights of Ren win one more game, they take the series. It's a best of 7, and yeah, Claire has to kill Kira, GT Kung, and Furious Styles if the Alpha Ducklings want to take this week's victory. See him. He's dropped second base. He's going for double adept into robotics facility. Claire is finally taking their second base. Starport is coming up. Claire's Reaper is scouting around for proxies. It didn't really do its job, though. Like, it hasn't seen any of the tech. It needs to go back in. It needs to say, my life for Marsara, and hop into the main to see what Kira is all about, or Claire needs to burn a scan, because Kira had a very light defense at the start. And given how late Claire's second CC was, like, this is basically a scam. Like, it looked like Claire was gonna get aggressive, maybe. But, no, took a second CC. We still might see a 2-base push. In fact, I would be betting on a 2-base push from Claire. But Kira got up a quick second Nexus. He is getting up a bunch more gateways, getting out a Warp Prism. Kira is actually going to be the first one to move out. An Immortal, a couple of Sentries, a couple of Adepts, and a Warp Prism. Here come the Stalkers to back up his push. This siege tank on the high ground will do a ton of work for Claire. If Kira does choose to move in. He's finally feeling comfortable with that next Warp in of Adepts. The Warp Prism could possibly provide high ground vision to snipe out the tank. The bunker melts at the front. Kira continues to move in. The Raven took a lot of damage there. Guardian Shell is making these Marine shots a little bit less effective. There could still drop a second one. Oh, you don't want to eat tank shots on your sentries. Claire isn't out of the running yet. Cyclone's fallen. The Marines are falling as well, but there's 2 tanks on the high ground now for Claire. The Immortal's fallen, and Raven thinks about dropping an auto turret, but it's not necessary. Kira's going to back out. However, he did kill 11 workers during that battle, so I'm sure he's feeling okay. Like, this isn't over. That wasn't necessarily all in for Kira. We basically have a reset. Both players are even in workers, and Kira and Claire are probably both going to take a third from here. Claire just doesn't have the army supply to push out, and Kira also lost his entire army. Claire is ahead in supply. Sorry, Nightbot's drunk, guys. I swear, sometimes you click the button to disable, like, a command on the page, and it shows you that it went through, but, like, it just doesn't ping the server or something. Yeah, if you guys want to enter the code for that tournament, that's the OSC Masters Cup. It has nothing to do with Centauri Starleague, but if you want to support them, go right on ahead. It's usually Bly, 3DB, and, like, Christianer that pick up that prize pool, so... This Reaper is slowly tapping away at the shields on Kira's Nexus. Kira stops an auto turret attack without taking any losses. Combat shields hit the ground for Claire. I feel like Claire wants a refinery on this if they're going to keep producing Marines. This is a lot of tech labs. Like, is Claire just going to go into unlimited Marauders at some point? Stim is finished for the Terran. Kira's sending out probes to his third Nexus. +1 weapons are on the way. Claire drops a disable on the Warp Prism, so if you disable a Warp Prism, basically it can't deploy, it can't warp in reinforcements for you if you're a Protoss player. Or undeploy. Wait, no, I'm confusing myself now. Never mind, retract. Forget I said that last thing. Templar Archives is going to finish up for Kira. He's going to be wanting to get into Archons, get into Storm. Second Forge is on the way as well for double upgrade production. So we're going to see +2 weapons and +1 armor from Kira if he survives. This push from Claire. Claire isn't bringing the tanks, though. I feel like that's a pretty big mistake. Like, this bio isn't going to do anything against Kira's army once he gets Archons. Sure, Storm isn't finished, it's only halfway done, but Kira's just gonna morph a ton of Archons once he sees this coming in. Oh my god, is this push gonna somehow work for Claire? No, it doesn't look like it. There's just one Widowmine to anchor for Claire. It does get a really decent shot off. No! The High Templar are auto-attacking the bio! Actually, Sam's kind of falling apart here. That was... Okay, Storm's finally finished. Yeah, this is over. But Claire pulls ahead 6 workers and still has a pretty big army supply advantage. 16 probes went down in that attack. It looked like that was going to be really bad, but Kira just decided not to morph Archons. He kept the High Templar instead, and that meant it wasn't an easy cleanup. So while he will have a little bit more Storm, I guess, even though he had to drop 2 Storms, I feel like that was a little bit bad judgment on the part of Kira. Now Claire has an even scarier push moving out. With even more Widow Mines. Although, I still feel like if Claire just brought the tanks, like, it would already be over. Those were beautiful Widowmine shots. Does Kira have enough remaining to finish this off? Oh no, the sentry goes down at pretty much full energy. There's a storm. There's not enough left on the ground for Claire, but Claire did leave the siege tanks at home and does still have the better army supply count. The Archons are slowly DPSing down that medevac, but Kira isn't going to commit to it. Kira's almost caught back up in workers. He's only down 5 workers. He needs to get these gases saturated, though. Claire takes a 4th CC. Taking a look at upgrades, it's going to be 2-2 for the Terran before it hits for Kira. Kira's High Templar are gaining value over time as they sit here and collect energy, which of course means more storms, assuming, you know, they hit that plateau of 2 energy bars basically per storm. Claire is going for a rather expensive, very Marauder-heavy composition, along with the Widow Mines. Kira has a concave pre-set up, though, and that's a gigantic storm on the bio. A second good storm goes off. A lot of disables dropped. One disables being dropped on the High Templar. I like the inventiveness there, but the charge lots have collapsed on the remaining Widow Mines. They will all die. Pretty much everything goes down for Claire, and we have a pause. I can't do this on 600. 600 ping! Oh my god. That's crazy if true. It is on Western United States. So 600 ping is like 6/10 of a second. Human reaction time is 1/10 of a second. So that's absolutely insane if true. It shouldn't be that bad from US West to Singapore, though. That sounds like something else is going on as well.
Game resumed.
Okay, so we are going to resume. Kira knocks down the rocks. Hope Claire's ping is cleared up a little bit, at least. But Kira... decimated. He demolished that engagement. Claire is still going to pull ahead on army supply. Did still have the bigger economy, so that paid dividends while that engagement was happening. But this is the last gasp. Claire has to trade well in this engagement, or Kira is going to pull ahead and get the lead. And Kira still has 3 basically full energy High Templar. No, 3 High Templar gets sniped down by the bio. An Archon goes down as well, so that's another 2 High Temps dead effectively. But there's so much energy on these High Templar that were disabled at first, and Claire's bio gets totally eliminated once again. Feedbacks are being dropped on the Ravens. The medevac gets picked off! Both Ravens will go down as well. And that's it. Kira is going to keep gaining the lead. One Widowmine actually makes it through. Not the best connection, though. And that's another precious unit lost for Claire. Okay, Claire stims into the 4th. Kira needs to respond to this, but he's not. Troll Mudkip saying reaction speed is actually like 200. Well, for Kira there, it was like 1,000. It's insane. But Kira will lose his 4th Nexus for that. Claire's got to be feeling good about that, but, I mean, Kira has just been trading so well. If he could get his macro off the ground, things would... I mean, he'd probably win the game, but the fact is, Claire just keeps crashing into him, keeps macroing better behind it, and, wow, I guarantee you it's... Okay, actually, slightly more losses for Kira, but... A lot of that was that early game push that Kira sent out. Ooh, 2 Widowmines go down at the front. Those were 2 really good Widowmine shots for the Terran, picking off a lot of the Zealots, but the bio is just melting behind it. However, Kira doesn't have the numbers to hold on. The Colossi are gunned down. Claire moves forward. GG is called, and Claire puts the first point on the board. In the bottom left corner. Up once again for the Knights of Ren here in the all-kill portion. It's the Green Zerg, Furious Styles. And in the top right, as the Red Terran for the Alpha Ducklings, it's Claire. They did drop GLHFs while I was reading the chat. Yeah, so Claire still has an uphill battle, but Claire has also made the first step in all killing the Blades of Ren and taking the win for the Alpha Ducklings. So, you may be wondering, okay, again, unique format, disclaimer, blah, blah, blah. What the heck happens if Claire takes out all 3 members of the Knights of Ren? Like, what do we do? Because, if you do the math, right, with the Knights of Ren winning the Pro League, that's 3 points, and Claire winning the All-Kill, that's 3 points, well, a special rule takes place. The Knights of Ren will be able to revive one of their fallen players to try to take on Claire a second time. So, Claire needs basically an All-Kill +1. But before that happens, Claire is going to have to take down Furious Styles. Claire already showed they could go toe-to-toe with Kira. Kira played a very hard-fought game against Claire. It's pretty back and forth. But Claire was able to break through in the end with just excellent macro mechanics. Claire sends out a Reaper Scout. Furious Styles is going for a third base. Oh no. Well, Brazil, pretty good for delaying the third, apparently. We are on US West once again. Furious is a newly minted Masters player for the first time in his career. He just got it like 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. So welcome to the Masters Club, Furious Styles. MMR is really similar. It's like 45-30 for Furious, 45-50 for Claire or something. Furious prides himself in this matchup on Ling backstabs and aggressive play. Claire, I think, knows what's happening and is pulling her Hellions back to the wall. 2 Hellions are here to block in the wall. That was a nice bit of micro from Claire, but like I said, this is Furious Styles' bread and butter, getting Lings into the natural. So while he didn't actually cause economic damage, he used offense as a defense. He got a scout off, he saw the Banshee, he saw the Hellions, he pulled Claire back from trying to get into his natural in killing drones, and now he can continue to creep spread, well, if he actually wants to move out these tumors, and continue to macro back at home. He's going for 5 drones. He's going to have spores up in time to intercept the Banshee if Claire decides to move out again. Actually, he doesn't have a spore at the third for some reason. Cloak has finished for Claire. For more some Hellbats. And Furious is going to need Banelings quite quickly. You do not want to lose the third to this push. Oh, he only has 3 Banelings. He doesn't have enough gas for more. These queens need to use all their transfuse and have enough gusto left over to take on the Banshees. I feel like Claire's making a little bit of mistake chasing down the queens instead of continuing to pump out DPS on the hatchery. The queens need to pull back to a Spore Crawler. There's an Overseer morphing. So many transfuses have gone down. There's so much transfuse here, and not a single one was dropped. So Furious is down to 2 queens. And there's still a chance the third might fall. Furious is doing what he always does, and counter-attacking Terran. That's it. Those were the only 2 queens Furious had, and with it, the only 2 units he had that shot up. Claire is repairing the wall, but only has 1 SCV on one of the supply depots. The medevacs are going to hold for a while the tank takes off shots from the high ground. And this was a dicey hold for Claire, but a hold it was nonetheless. Oh, God. The damage is so distributed. But Claire never focused down the third, so Furious Styles is actually going to hold. After all that, Furious Styles held with 0 drone losses, and the third still alive. What is this game? Now, the Terran is still really ahead. Claire's gonna move out at third. that was a ridiculous hold for Furious Styles. He threw away so many lings, and he's not at the worker count he wants to be at. So while he didn't take economic damage, he kind of had economic damage done to himself. Now, he does have a little bit of a gas bank. He's gone for a Spire play here, but he's not going to be able to pump out the most muta. Normally, you want to be hitting with like 10 muta and then starting at +1. Well, Furious Styles is going to have like 6 muta-ish, and then he'll be able to pop down at 7th and eventually an 8th. Some lings are getting ready to flood in. Claire does have a lot of Marines out, but no missile turrets, and Claire just now scanned the Spire. Okay. 8 Banelings are coming in! Furious isn't actually making any muta! He has the gas, he's not making the muta! Oh no. Claire's gonna have enough time to get up missile turrets. Claire isn't dropping any at the third base, though. Furious knows the army moved out. Banelings roll forward. 3 supply depots go down right away. There's a surround. A siege tank goes down. The Banelings clean up a lot of Marines, but Claire still has a lot of army on the ground. It's 48 army supply to 33. Finally, mutas are entering production. Furious was supply blocked from that Overlord going down, and that supply block is going to keep him from making more muta. The Overseers that were with the army also went down. I don't know why they were with the army, but they were. Okay, Claire is going to push across with Marine Marauder tank. You have to be very skilled as a Zerg muta player when this engagement is coming at you. These tanks can and will start pushing back the creep and very quickly get in on your hatcheries. Furious already has an injured hatch. He's well aware of that weak spot. He's going to start injecting it. Claire is going to try to split off the natural from the third base. You need to use your muta to pick off the tanks. You're pulling the Marines back to the tanks with your muta, stopping them from using their full force as you get more Ling Bane out to hold this. But he sent the muta across the map! Uh-oh. Okay! 2 Banelings got decent connections, but now there's none left. There's a lot of Queens on the high ground. Furious needs to use these Queens to hold off the encroaching Terran forces. His muta got a small amount of damage done on the other side of the map, but Claire stacked her reinforcements so they can't be picked off one at a time, and this is looking like the death blow from Claire. These medevacs are out of energy, but it's not going to matter. The Marines are going to stim to win and fight off the isolated Zerglings that are coming in. The muta are way too late to the party. They all get picked off on their own. GG is called, and Claire takes the second win. In the top right corner, well on his way to all-killing the Blades of Ren, it's the Green Terran, Claire. And in the bottom left, as the Orange Zerg, for the Blades of Ren, it's GT Kung. So, in the all-kill format, you know, the first 3 maps are taken out of the pool thanks to the Pro League, but the remaining 4 maps are the losing team's choice. So Kung did get to choose Eternal Empire. Player chose map 1, Furious chose map 2, etc. Now, we're in that weird situation I talked about earlier. If Claire takes the win here, the Blades of Ren have to revive 1 player to play on Zen. If Kung takes the win, then the Blades take a 4-2 victory. Claire sends out a Reaper Scout. Kung continues to drone. We're not going to really see what the Zerg's game plan is for another 30 seconds to a minute. Claire has got the scout off. He's going to be confident. Okay, there's no Roach Warren. I didn't see Spire, so I think the Zerg's going to go for 3 base play. But if he made that assumption, he would be wrong. Kung just invested all his money into a lair. Ling speed is about to finish, and 3 gases have been dropped. This could be Roachnitis. It could also be a Spire. Claire sees there's no third. Claire is going to hop into the main. Kung's Lings are out of position to intercept the Reaper. But Claire did not... Okay. Claire did scout in and saw the lair. Kung made him pay for it, but that information is far more valuable to Claire than a Reaper, because, you know, Kung could have taken this expansion over here. Seeing the lair, Claire's going to be very confident of what Kung's game plan is, and Kung is still committing to the Spire play. It's full-on committed 2-base Muta from Kung. He's going for an Evo Chamber wall off. He's going to pull the Queens into the gap to hold off the Hellions. This is one of 2 ways you can do this as the Zerg. You can also get out around 16 Lings or 8 pairs at 44 supply to hold off the Hellions. But this is a lot more larva efficient for Kung. And it's going to allow him to continue droning. As well as have some larvae banked up for mutas. Spire is nearing completion. Claire is still getting a Banshee! What? No. No. Did Claire misread what's happening? No, Claire's just going for a Hellbat push. This is disastrous! 7 Muta are hitting for GT Kung. Claire will break through the wall, but, like, this isn't gonna be enough. Claire could have dove on the mineral line. I think that would have been his best chance, but now Kung has Muta out, and that's it. That's the show. These guys are gonna get run down. They didn't deal any damage. Like, Claire knows Kung's on 2 base. What is he thinking? He's dropping an armory. What? Okay, there's... Alright, missile turrets are going to be up in the mineral lines, but one needs to be... Well, 1 or 2 need to be here defending the production. Here come the Muta. First 3 Marines should get picked up. Okay, 1 Marine's going to get picked off. 2 Marines get picked off. Stim could fall. Stim going down would be absolutely massive. Kung has it in the red. He gets the kill on Stim. Denied. There's nothing that shoots up here for Claire except for the 2 missile turrets in the mineral lines. Nothing to defend the production. A Thor is being made. One of these medevacs will be canceled when the reactor burns down. And Claire can't pull any SCVs to get the repair off. Now, Tech Labs going down do not cancel a unit. Reactors kill one of the units effectively. Tech Labs going down does not cancel the unit being produced. It just means you can't produce any more of them if it's a Thor or what have you. A Marauder on a barracks, I guess. One of the medevacs gets picked up, and Claire is just at a loss for what to do, it seems. Just waiting for the Thor. Now the Thor is going to be Magic Box. No! It picks up into the medevac! That's so risky! That's so risky! The Thor goes down. "18 SCVs have fallen. Claire is going for a last-ditch attack on the other side of the map, but there's nothing to defend these Hellions. They will eventually all get cleaned up, and there's so much transfuse on the wall. Kung is paying attention and transfusing, and now that all the add-ons are gone, the production buildings themselves are under siege. Claire is going for her third CC. GT Kung stop transfusing for some reason, so the wall will fall. The Hellbats are in the base, but they're not going in on the mineral line. If they go in the mineral line, they can cause massive drone damage, possibly, but they all die to the Muta. Claire is totally focused on defending at home, but is very limited in the tools he has to do so. An entire barracks gets picked off. These 3 barracks that were under production aren't going to get made. Missile turrets are attempting to be dropped to defend the production, but it gets killed. Third CC is the only thing finishing for this Terran. GT Kung is just camping the production here. All 3 buildings are cancelled. Supply depots are now under fire. Kung is just deciding what targets he wants to pick off. And he's going to man mode the missile turret. No SCVs are pulled to repair. So this main mineral line totally dies. There's nothing that shoots up for Claire except this one turret at the natural. This is too many Muta. The turrets all go down. Final SCVs are under siege. GG is called! And GT Kung takes a 4-2 victory for the Blades of Ren here in week number 2 of the Centauri Star League, and the first match in the league for the Blades.